Well, it's only Thursday. Tom is supposed to
Never
say.
mind. I think I need you to say it every morning.
Very well. Oh, madam, you look younger every day.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you very much.
Have you ever scrolled through TikTok or Instagram and noticed that everyone seems to have a razor-sharp jawline? It's like we've collectively decided that a defined, snatched jawline is the ultimate beauty standard. But here's the thing, most people don't naturally have the look. And in the age of Facetune and filters, the pressure to achieve it in real life has led to a massive boom in chin and jawline procedures. From cool sculpting to liposuction to Balkaira injections, the options for sculpting your jaw are more accessible than ever. Celebrities, influencers, and even everyday people are opting for these treatments, and plastic surgeons have never been busier. But where did this obsession come from? And is it really new? Or just another beauty trend repeating itself? In today's deep dive, we're breaking down the rise of chin lipo, the different procedures people are getting, and the historical roots of the sculpted jawline obsession. Let's get into it. Chapter 1. What is chin lipo and why is everyone getting it? The pursuit of a sharp, sculpted jawline has reached new heights in the age of high-definition selfies and social media scrutiny. With beauty standards becoming increasingly unforgiving, many people are turning to medical procedures to achieve the coveted snatched look. While contouring and makeup and strategic lighting can help, they're only temporary fixes. For those looking for a more permanent result, aesthetic treatments like chin liposuction, Balkaira, which is Kybella in the States, and cool sculpting have surged in popularity, offering different levels of invasiveness and price points to cater to a variety of beauty goals. Liposuction, the most traditional and dramatic option, is a surgical procedure in which a plastic surgeon uses a small cannula to remove excess fat from under the chin and along the jawline. The results are immediate and permanent, making it a popular choice for those who want a noticeable transformation. However, like any surgical procedure, it comes with risks such as swelling, bruising, and a recovery period of several weeks. Despite the downtime, it remains one of the most effective ways to achieve a sharper jawline, especially for people who struggle with stubborn fat deposits that don't respond to diet and exercise. For those hesitant about surgery, there's Balkaira or Kybella in the United States, which provides a less invasive alternative. This injectable treatment contains an acid, which is a naturally occurring molecule that breaks down fat cells in the body. Over the course of several treatments, typically 2 to 4 sessions spaced over a few weeks, the fat under the chin gradually dissolves, leaving behind a more defined jawline. While the idea of melting fat with injections sounds appealing, the process isn't painless. Patients experience significant swelling, sometimes for weeks at a time, leading to the infamous bullfrog effect, where the neck swells up before slimming down. And the price tag can be a deterrent, as multiple sessions are required to see the results, each treatment going from $600 to $1,200 per session. And we do this at my work, and apparently you get like a whole bunch of injections all along this area under the neck, and you have to do it really quick because it feels, apparently, I've never tried it, but you get stung by, like, it feels like you're being stung by like 1,000 bees. And I've seen people come back for follow-ups and their neck is literally like this massive swollen bullfrog, and it lasts like a month. I haven't seen incredibly drastic results with these. I think you have to get several sessions to perhaps see a result, maybe even like probably 4 minimum to really notice something. And despite these drawbacks, many people prefer Balkaira over liposuction because it avoids the surgery and is more gradual and natural looking the change. But again, you're stuck walking around with the bullfrog neck and the pain of it too. Another non-invasive option that has gained popularity is cool sculpting. This is a fat freezing procedure that works by exposing the cells to extremely cold temperatures, causing them to die off and be naturally eliminated by the body. Unlike liposuction, there are no incisions or injections, and the procedure requires little to no downtime. However, the results are far more subtle and take months to become noticeable. And cool sculpting is ideal for individuals with mild to moderate excessive fat under the chin, rather than those looking for a dramatic change. And while it's often marketed as a low maintenance, effortless fix, the reality is that it needs multiple sessions and the results can be inconsistent. At my work, we also do cool sculpting, and I got it for free for a training session on the back of my arms, and I did 2 sessions, and it would have cost close to $10,000. And honestly, I can't notice anything. In hindsight, I wish I chose a different area to try instead. Maybe like if I did my stomach or something, I would have noticed something more dramatic, but we even did like the before and after pictures, and the technician like couldn't see anything. I don't know. Like if I had actually paid $10,000 for this, I would have been like very upset because that's a lot of money. And then I've seen other people get it done too, and I didn't notice anything. Like it's very subtle. And I think again, you have to do a lot of sessions, and cool sculpting isn't cheap. So if you're doing a few cycles, I actually think liposuction would probably end up being cheaper. And again, cool sculpting is also really painful. I found it painful because once it, like you take off this cool patch on your arm, it feels like, you know, when your hands are, you're not wearing gloves outside and your hands are completely frozen, and then you go in somewhere hot, and that sensation of them like starting to gain feeling again in a warmer temperature, and it's quite painful. That's what it feels like with cool sculpting. It lasts like maybe 5 minutes, but again, for like 6 maybe to 8 months, I couldn't feel the back of my arms. It had no sensation, and it was like a dull numbing sensation, kind of like when you go to the dentist and your mouth is still frozen and you can't feel your face. That's what the back of my arms felt like. They're better now, but it took a long time for it to get better. So in hindsight, I don't think I would have paid for that, and I wish I tried a different area besides the back of the arms, because maybe that's a trickier area. And so why are these procedures booming right now? The answer lies in the ever increasing pressure to meet modern beauty standards. Social media platforms have popularized a highly curated version of beauty, one that includes impossibly sharp jawlines and sculpted cheekbones. AI-powered filters and editing apps, again, have created an unrealistic baseline for beauty, making natural, softer jawlines seem undesirable in comparison. Also, the high-definition cameras on smartphones further exasperate the issue, as they highlight even the slightest double chin or soft jawline, making people hyper-aware of their facial features. And it's true, if you like hold your phone too low, I've done that before, where it's just like full-on double chin. But it's not just about looking good on camera. The rise of Zoom culture during the pandemic also played a significant role in this trend, with people constantly seeing their faces on video calls, making people become fixated on their perceived flaws, including sagging skin or excess fat under the chin. And plastic surgeons reported a surge in jawline-related procedures during and after lockdowns. And I could see a lot of people getting work done then too, because you're away from people and you could hide inside. And this is dubbed the Zoom effect. This phenomenon has led to a lasting demand for facial contouring treatments, with chin and jawline enhancements becoming some of the most required procedures in cosmetic clinics. Particularly interesting about this trend is how gender neutral it's become. While jawline sculpting was once considered a primarily female beauty concern, more men are now seeking the procedures to achieve a strong masculine jawline. In male aesthetics, a chiseled jaw is often associated with confidence and attractiveness, leading to a rise in procedures tailored specifically for men. Treatments like masculization filler injections, where dermal fillers are strategically placed along the jawline to create a sharper, more angular appearance. And these have gained popularity among male clients looking to enhance their features without surgery. With social media, high-definition cameras, and increasing accessibility to non-invasive cosmetic procedures, the demand for chin and jawline enhancements isn't slowing down anytime soon. While some may argue that these procedures empower individuals to take control of their self-image, others worry about the unrealistic beauty standards they reinforce. And the pressure to achieve a perfectly sculpted face has never been higher. And as more people turn to cosmetic interventions, the question remains, how much of our beauty is still natural, and how much of it is engineered? And of course, the snatched jawline trend didn't just appear out of nowhere. If we take a step back and look at history, we'll see the obsession with a strong sculpted jawline has been shaping beauty ideals for centuries. Chapter 2, the celebrity influence. Who's getting it? And in the age of social media, celebrities have become the ultimate tastemakers in beauty, influencing trends in ways that go far beyond makeup and hair. The snatched jawline aesthetic, a razor-sharp, sculpted lower face, has become one of the most sought-after looks, and A-listers are largely responsible for making it mainstream. Unlike body trends, which have historically taken longer to shift, facial beauty trends spread at warp speed due to high-definition cameras, AI, editing, and an endless stream of hyper-polished images online. And it's easy to assume that celebrities are just naturally blessed with their flawless bone structure, but the reality is far more curated. Over the past decade, we've watched celebrity jawlines transform in real time, with subtle but significant tweaks that enhance facial definition. While stars rarely admit to surgical interventions, plastic surgeons and beauty experts speculate that many have undergone non-invasive procedures like Balkyra, jawline fillers, while others have likely had buccal fat removal or full chin liposuction. Perhaps no family has more influence over modern beauty ideals than the Kardashians. Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner in particular have gone through striking transformations, with their jawlines becoming sharper sharper and more defined over the years. While they attribute their look to weight loss, contouring, and aging, the dramatic shifts suggest more than just good makeup. I mean, that's quite obvious to me. And plastic surgeons suspect that Kim and Kylie may have had subtle jawline liposuction or fat dissolving injections, especially given the family's known history of cosmetic enhancements. And the rise of their beauty empires coincided with the cultural shift that favors highly sculpted, symmetrical facial features, making their influence impossible to ignore. Then there's Bella Hadid, often cited the poster girl for the snatched jawline aesthetic. Her face has become a blueprint for modern beauty, and thousands of young women use their photos as reference images for cosmetic procedures. In 2022, Bella admitted to getting a nose job at the age of 14, but she has denied other procedures, claiming that her sculpted looks are a result of genetics, weight loss, and natural aging. However, experts suggest that her dramatic transformation likely involves buccal fat removal, jawline contouring, and possibly even chin liposuction. The contrast between her softer, rounder face in early modeling photos and the razor-sharp angles of her current look is staggering, reinforcing the idea that modern beauty is much about aesthetic procedure as it is about genetics. And she's definitely had more than just the nose job. You can really tell, like her eyes, the shape of her face looks so different. The influence of young Hollywood stars like Madison Beer and Dove Cameron have also contributed to the jawline obsession. These singers are known for their impossibly smooth, angular faces, leading to speculation about non-surgical tweaks such as filler or dissolvers in their jawlines. Unlike older celebrities who remain secretive about cosmetic work, Gen Z stars exist in a culture where procedures are normalized. And while they don't always confirm them, the expectation that they must maintain perfect features is undeniable. And beyond traditional celebrities, their social media stars and influencers are arguably the biggest driving force behind the chin lipo craze. Unlike mainstream Hollywood, where there's still a layer of secrecy around aesthetic work, social media personalities are shockingly transparent about their cosmetic procedures. Many influencers openly document their jawline transformations, from liposuction recovery vlogs, before and after of injections, making the process seem casual but yes, very attainable. This level of accessibility is crucial. When a celebrity subtly alters their face, there's always an element of mystery, but when an influencer posts a step-by-step breakdown of their chin lipo experience, it completely demystifies the process, encouraging more people to consider it for themselves. A perfect example is this rise of the jawline glow-ups on TikTok, where users document their post-lipo swelling, compression garment routines, and final results. These videos often rack up millions of views, with comments filled with people saying things like, "I need this ASAP," or "adding this to my wish list." The normalization of the procedure is driving demand in ways that we've never seen before, with plastic surgeons reporting record numbers of consultations for jawline contouring among young clients. This trend is also extended to male celebrities, reflecting the growing demand for a sculpted jawline across all genders. In the male beauty space, a straw jawline has long been associated with masculinity and attractiveness, and modern stars like Timothée Chalamet, Jacob Elordi, and Henry Cavill embody this ideal. While some male celebrities likely have naturally straw jawlines, others have subtly enhanced their look with jawline fillers, chin implants, or even minor liposuction. The popularity of male plastic surgery influencers who openly discuss their jawline sculpting techniques has further fueled this trend, breaking down the stigma about aesthetic enhancements. Beyond traditional beauty expectations, the snatched jawline aesthetic is deeply tied to status and wealth. In the past, expensive beauty treatments were exclusive to celebrities and the ultra-rich, but today procedures like chin liposuction and Balkaira are marketed as attainable for everyday people, provided they can afford it. While jawline sculpting is becoming more mainstream, it still carries a luxury connotation, with high-end plastic surgeons catering to influencers and socialites who want to maintain their perfect image. The idea of subtle, expensive-looking beauty, often referred to as quiet luxury aesthetics, plays into this, as an angular, defined face is increasingly associated with youth, affluence, and meticulous self-care. With Hollywood, influencers, and social media culture all reinforcing this idea that a sculpted jawline is essential, it's no surprise that aesthetic treatments have become the norm rather than the exception. But what's fascinating is that this isn't entirely a modern phenomenon. The obsession with jawlines as a symbol of power, beauty, and status goes way back in history. From Greek sculptures to old Hollywood, the desire for chiseled bone structure has existed for centuries, just in different forms. And that's what we'll explore next. Chapter 3, The History of the Sculpted Jawline. The modern-day obsession with a sharp, sculpted jawline might feel like a uniquely digital age phenomenon, but the truth is, our fixation with facial structure has existed existed for centuries. Across different time periods, cultures, a defined jawline has been linked to power, attractiveness, and even moral character. While today's beauty industry offers non-invasive surgical options to sculpting the face, earlier generations relied on fashion, grooming techniques, and even strategic body posture to create the illusion of a chiseled jaw. Understanding how jawline ideals have evolved over time gives us insight into why we continue to chase this beauty standard. From ancient warriors to the 19th century aristocrats to the carefully crafted movie stars of Hollywood's golden age, the desire for a well-defined jawline is not just about aesthetics. It's about a symbol of identity, class, and even social dominance. In ancient Egypt, beauty was deeply intertwined with social hierarchy and a divine symbolism. Egyptian art often depicted royalty and gods with symmetrical, well-defined facial features, including sharp jawlines and elongated necks. These artistic choices were not just aesthetic but political. A strong jaw was associated with authority, wisdom, and divine favor. Pharaohs like Ramses were depicted with angular faces, reinforcing their image as rulers blessed by the gods. Even makeup played a role in sculpting the face, as kohl eyeliner and contoured shading were used to enhance bone structure in both men and women. During the Renaissance period, the 14th to 17th centuries, there was a renewed appreciation for Greek and Roman ideals of beauty, and the sculpted jawline made a comeback in art, sculpture, and portraiture. Renaissance artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Raphael meticulously studied human anatomy to create idealized versions of the human form, with balanced, symmetrical features that often include a defined jawline. One of the most famous Renaissance works, Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, emphasized the importance of proportion and symmetry in human beauty, ideas that continue to influence modern aesthetic standards. Wealthy European patrons, including members of royal courts, commissioned portraits that highlighted sharp facial angles and structured bone features. Since nobility was linked to beauty, artists subtly altered their subjects' appearances, sharpening jawlines, elongating faces to fit the era's aristocratic ideal. In real life, however, people sought to enhance their features through fashion and grooming. For men, growing a well-groomed beard was a way to add strength to the jawline, reinforcing ideals of masculinity and wisdom. And it is true, because you could grow a beard and kind of like shave it and sculpt it to make your jaw look way sharper. And meanwhile, women styled the hair away from their faces and used pearl powder and light shading techniques to subtly sculpt their features, a precursor to modern contouring. By the 19th century, facial structure became even more deeply tied to social class. The Victorian era emphasized refinement and elegance, and a slender, elongated jawline was associated with good breeding and high status. This was partly influenced by the belief that aristocrats had naturally delicate, refined features, while broader or rounder faces were often associated with the working class. Women adopted postural techniques to elongate their necks and create a more defined jawline, as a graceful, lifted head was seen as a marker of femininity and sophistication. The use of corsets and high-colored clothing played a role in forcing proper posture, which in turn emphasized a more elegant facial silhouette. Some women even used chin straps, tight fabrics worn around the jawline overnight, to train the face into a slimmer shape, much like modern facial slimming devices. And I'm kind of skeptical because I see on TikTok people wearing those weird chin straps and stuff at night when they sleep. I'm a little skeptical. I don't know how that's working. I don't know. Let me know if you tried them. For men, clean-shaven faces gained popularity in the late Victorian and Edwardian eras, as smooth skin and strong natural jawlines were considered signs of discipline and modernity. This shift was partially influenced by advancements in razor technology and the rise of military grooming standards, which associated a sharp jawline with strength and orderliness. The arrival of film and photography in the early 20th century changed the way beauty was perceived, making facial structure more important than ever before. The camera had a way of flattening features, meaning actors needed strong, defined bone structures to stand out on screen. Enter the golden age of Hollywood, the 1920s to the 50s, when stars like Cary Grant, Marlon Brando, and Clark Gable defined masculine beauty standards with broad shoulders, square jaws, and high cheekbones. These actors weren't just naturally gifted with perfect bone structure. Hollywood makeup artists and lighting techniques became masters of enhancing jawlines, using strategic shading and camera angles to create the illusion of a more sculpted face. For women, actresses like Grace Kelly, Audrey Hepburn, and Elizabeth Taylor epitomized the elegant, refined look of the era. Studio executives carefully controlled the public images of their stars, and in some cases, actors were pressured to undergo early forms of cosmetic procedures to refine their features. Though plastic surgery was still in its infancy, jawline-enhancing procedures like chin implants began appearing in the 1950s, signaling the start of surgical beauty interventions. During this time, Hollywood set the gold standard for beauty, and these ideals were spread worldwide. With the expansion of magazine advertisements and television, the sculpted jawline aesthetic became more accessible and desirable to the general public. The 1970s and 80s saw a shift towards more diverse beauty standards, with different facial shapes becoming more widely accepted, and this era introduced supermodels like Farrah Fawcett and Cindy Crawford, who had high cheekbones but softer, natural-looking jawlines. By the 90s and early 2000s, the beauty industry became less focused on angularity and more on youthful fullness, especially for women. Britney Spears, Jennifer Lopez, and Drew Barrymore embodied a more rounded, youthful look that was considered fresh and desirable at the time. However, the rise of high fashion models like Kate Moss and editorial photography brought back some appreciation for sharper facial angles. While the jawline wasn't the main focus, bone structure remained an important element of high fashion modeling. And what's clear from history is that beauty trends are never permanent. While the current obsession with ultra-defined jawlines may be at its peak, we've seen moments where softer, rounder faces were the beauty ideal. And as technology continues to shape our perceptions of beauty, it's possible that the next shift will favor a more natural, relaxed aesthetic, or perhaps an entirely new definition of what it means to be attractive. Chapter 4: The Pop Culture Impact and the Future of Jawline Trends. The sculpted jawline trend isn't just about beauty, it's deeply rooted in pop culture, status, and the evolving ways we consume media. While social media plays a massive role in shaping modern beauty standards, the entertainment industry, fashion trends, and even nostalgia for past beauty icons have contributed just as much to the rise of the snatch look. From the influence of action heroes and supermodels to reality TV stars and luxury branding, the ideal of a perfect sculpted face has been carefully crafted by pop culture narratives that extended far beyond just TikTok filters. But what's fascinating is how the aesthetic itself has changed over time, and how different cultural forces from Hollywood to high fashion have reinforced or challenged the perfect jawline look. And one of the biggest reinforcements of the strong jawline ideal has come from the Hollywood action hero. From the 1980s onwards, blockbuster films have consistently presented leading men with hyper-masculine, chiseled features, reinforcing the idea that a sharp, angular jawline signifies dominance, heroism, and power. The 1980s and 1990s action stars, if you think about, are Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, and Bruce Willis. They all have square, structured jawlines that became part of their on-screen personas. Their faces were iconic symbols of toughness, and their strong, lower faces became shorthand for a leading man who could fight, survive, and win. Even if you think of Batman, too, he has that really sharp jaw. On the other end of the spectrum, the high-fashion supermodel has represented a different kind of jawline ideal, one that prioritizes refinement over raw masculinity. In 1990s supermodels in the high-fashion aesthetic, while male action stars were promoting a broad, square jaw toughness, female supermodels like Linda Evangelista, Christy Turlington, and Helena Christensen embodied a more sleek, structured look. Their angular bone structure was seen as elegant, refined, and desirable, setting a new standard for feminine beauty that was about symmetry, sharpness, and high cheekbones. Today, models like Bella Hadid and Kendall Jenner continue this tradition. Their sharply defined facial features make them ideal for editorial and runway work, reinforcing the idea that angularity equals beauty in the world of high fashion. And what's important here is that the jawline aesthetic have historically been tailored to different audiences. In mainstream Hollywood, strong jawlines are linked to power and action, while in high fashion, angular faces are linked to refinement and exclusivity. And reality TV has also played a huge role in the snatched jawline aesthetic. Unlike action heroes or high fashion models who represent an unattainable beauty ideal for most people, reality stars are often seen as relatable and more accessible. However, as reality TV has evolved, so have the beauty standards it promotes. Shows like The Real Housewives, especially The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Miami have normalized cosmetic enhancements, including jawline sculpting procedures. Many of these women openly discuss their fillers, Botox, and other surgical enhancements. Unlike older Hollywood beauty ideals that were meant to look natural, reality TV stars embrace the look of enhancement, which has made their extreme jawline definition more aspirational than ever before. And then obviously there's the Kardashian effect, which I mentioned before, from Kim and Kylie Jenner, who have significantly shaped modern beauty standards, but their influence goes far beyond just social media. The constant evolution of their facial features, especially their jawlines, has made people hyper aware of their own bone structure. And it's true, it seems like they're always kind of slowly morphing their faces. It's hard to keep up. And while older beauty trends focus on bigger eyes and full lips, today's plastic surgeons report that jawline contouring is one of the most requested procedures among young women, largely because of the Kardashians. And what's fascinating here is that reality TV has blurred the line between Hollywood-style perfection and everyday beauty expectations. Whereas sculpted jawlines were once reserved for movie stars and supermodels, they are now seen as attainable for everyone willing to invest in the procedures. And this has reshaped what we consider normal beauty. And beyond Hollywood and reality TV, there's another interesting aspect of the jawline trend. It's associated with wealth and luxury. High-end beauty brands, luxury influencers, and elite plastic surgeons have all contributed to the idea that a sculpted jawline is a status symbol. In recent years, trends like old money beauty and quiet luxury have glorified subtle, expensive-looking facial enhancements. A chiseled but not overtly exaggerated jawline has become a marker of wealth, particularly in high society and luxury fashion circles. Unlike plastic surgery trends of the past, like the extreme fillers of the 2010s, today's beauty elite favor natural-looking tweaks that require expert-level cosmetic work, which of course cost thousands of dollars. And high-end plastic surgery clinics in cities like Beverly Hills and New York and Dubai now specialize in customized jawline sculpting techniques to cater to their elite clients. And these procedures, whether through surgical liposuction, radiofrequency treatments, or other high-end dermal fillers, are marketed as refinements rather than major transformations. So the message is clear. A defined jawline is marked for the elite beauty and those who can afford it and invest in it. As with all beauty trends, the sculpted jawline look is likely to evolve. While it's currently at its peak, some experts predict that we may see a softening of the trend in the next decade, just as we've seen with other extreme beauty ideals. Just as overfilled lips and exaggerated brows have started to decline, there's a speculation that softer rounded faces may become trendy again. Some earlier signs of the shift are already visible in celebrity beauty trends, where a more natural look is becoming embraced. A pushback against extreme procedures as younger generations become more vocal about unrealistic beauty standards. I mean, I would like things to go a bit more softer. I mean, I just think I honestly never even paid attention to jawlines until I kind of saw it kept coming up a lot. But it wasn't even a thing on my focal point. I think I was too focused on everyone's massive lips that I just didn't even notice jawlines per se. So I don't know, it is interesting. I just wouldn't want to permanently alter my face based on a trend necessarily, because then you're trapped with that, and then like what if it goes out of style? But I do get it, as you age you kind of do lose your jawline a little bit, and I'm not faulting anyone for doing cosmetic enhancements if it makes you happy and more confident. It's just interesting to see how it can be a trend and how people are obsessing over it right now. Anyways, thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out some of my other videos.